Did you know that King James the First, and he wasn't the only king, saw witchcraft as being treasonous? And yet we've been made to believe that he was just a paranoid king, and that that's ridiculous, and he forced these witches to confess. Yeah. Here's the reason that lacks common sense, is because before Christianity came through, all of them were practicing paganism openly. They knew nothing else. Witches, magicians, pendulums, spell casting, all of it. Kings were even using it prior to Jesus coming, prior to Christianity. So it was going on there. And given that it started in Greece and then Mesopotamia and then the Romans and on, all the way to Ireland, a lot of it with sacrificing humans, then there had to have been something to it. Because how could all of those different societies take on those same rituals if they weren't benefiting from it? You hear what I'm saying? So it makes more sense to realize, no, these, because it wasn't just King James the First that saw witchcraft as treason after Christianity. I'm not for bringing the witch trials back, of course not. But you should recognize what Burning Man is. It's a pagan festival for sure, but why don't they want to tell you it's a pagan festival? I mean, we're this free country that allows all this religion. Why wouldn't they just say it? Because they're spell casting. That's why all the smoke, that's why all the loud music, that's why all the jumping and dancing, and it has nothing to do with creating their made-up city for 10 days. With the amount that they burn, it's burning their effigies to a certain god. And so these were the things that concerned kings, because when you look into the ancient world of witches and magic, practitioners often used rituals involving music, loud sounds, dancing, or jumping, and fire to cast curses or perform powerful magic on a nation or a group of people. Music, drumming, chanting, and rhythmic sounds were believed to raise spiritual energy, alter consciousness, and help direct magical power toward a specific goal, such as placing a curse. The loudness and repetition served as well. Fire played a central role in transformation and releasing magical energy. Burning effigies or objects during curses symbolized destruction, the release of potent forces, and often acted as a focal point during rituals. The smoke and flames were seen as carrying the spell's power to the spiritual world or target. So this is what Burning Man is about, which is why it really pisses me off. It's bad enough Americans would do it, but stupid Americans, but that foreigners come here and do that bullshit. See, it's always bothered me, you know, and France is always tied to this stuff. You know, so much leads back to France, but, and, you know, our 1776 founders, as much as they were great men, it seems like once any of them went to France, they all came back on this enlightenment path, and that's always bothered me. I'm like, yeah, enlightenment. What is this shit? Yeah, no. So always after they came back from France, so the Puritans, even though, you know, everybody's been made to hate the Puritans, they were trying to protect us from all that stuff. That's why so many intellectuals hate them because they practice the pagan practices too, or else they're under the spell. Think about it. How did they get all of Germany to go along with the Holocaust? I mean, yes, heavy propaganda for sure. But I'm sure there was some spell. I mean, because Hitler was known to be dabbling in the occult. So there's obviously something to it. Can you do anything about it? No, but you can speak up about it. That's really what people should be speaking up about. Because otherwise, if they're just having some pagan practice, why wouldn't you just want to say that? Because that's what it is. That's where its roots go back to, was the summer solstice and burning an effigy man. These were the things, too, that concerned King James I, because especially with burning effigies or wax figures, it was meant to curse somebody. And it's not because he was paranoid. It's because they all practiced that at one time, thinking it was okay. So why haven't any of the experts put that together? But then none of the experts want to see the truth about JFK. How is that possible? I mean, every video I come across is, well, the Jews killed Kennedy or the CIA did. No, first of all, why doesn't anyone want to admit the truth? Why doesn't anybody care that because he paid for these Kenya students to come here, it's how we got Obama Sr., and you can say, oh, well, that was just a coincidence. Look he's dead. Yeah, he is. God, I mean, if he was a good leader, God would have protected him. See, with Lincoln got shot, right? And Lincoln was a good president, but he didn't have protection. So in that case, God wanted protection for presidents. Because I said, why didn't God, with Kennedy in an open convertible? Because God clearly protected Trump, protected Reagan. He protected King James I from being blown up in Parliament. He protects the kings that he supports, or leaders, however you want to look at it. But Kennedy, in an open convertible, is shot to death. The whole Kennedy clan has that curse. And yet Ireland was heavily involved back in their ancient history in all of this stuff going on at Burning Man in their ancient history, and yet they all supported the Nazis. Not all of them, but their countries was secretly helping the Nazis. And the Kennedys are anti-Semitic. They were Nazi sympathizers. JFK himself idolized Hitler. How does no expert in this country or scholar say, I don't think Kennedy was on our side? No, instead, they're all running around saying that he was the only president going after Israel. No, he was going after Israel because the whole Kennedy family, pretty much, the men, hated Jews. It was passed down from Joe Kennedy. It's in it's documented history from all of them. So that's why he was going after the Jews. So there's so many things. There's the Bay of Pigs, he fucked it up on purpose so that he could have an excuse to attack the CIA, because they wanted to let that communist shit get in. And because of that, it's how 9/11, all those years later, ended up happening, because after him, all these communists got in. They covered stuff up. Because everything you read in the JFK files about the CIA and J. Edgar Hoover, they were protecting us from that crap. But MLK came in, started going after the FBI. How convenient. And yet the FBI had every right to wiretap him. JFK fucks up the Bay of Pigs, then starts attacking the CIA. How convenient. All at the same time. And yet it was JFK that got Obama Sr. here. So, but nobody can put that together, huh? Takes a lot of discernment, but you have to realize that when Jesus said the wicked one rules this world, most follow the wicked one.